Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bachelor Nation news fans. Joey Graziadei may have had quite a few relationships during his time in Bachelor Nation. But according to his recently unearthed audition tape, his time before the show wasn't as plentiful when it comes to dating. Joey, who won Dancing with the Stars after his starring turn on The Bachelor, has been one of the most popular franchise stars in recent years. Fans have been clamoring for updates on his wedding plans with Kelsey Anderson, whom he proposed to at the end of his season. However, while he found love with Kelsey on The Bachelor and made it to the final two during Charity Lawson's season of The Bachelorette, Joey's audition tape tells a very different story about his success with dating prior to that time. The tape, released as part of Bachelor Nation's new Bachelor Audition tape series, reveals that Joey had only 2 girlfriends prior to joining Bachelor Nation. In the video, which was filmed before Joey appeared on Charity's season, he shares some behind-the-scenes looks at his life in Hawaii at the time. The footage showed him hanging out on beaches, playing tennis, and talking about his family and the life he lived growing up in Pennsylvania. In the video, Joey confessed to having only had 2 serious relationships in the past, one when he first moved to Hawaii and the second while living in Nashville, Tennessee. "I really only have had 2 serious relationships in my whole life," he shared in the clip. "One when I first moved to the island, and one when I was living in Nashville. Both girls were amazing. I can say nothing but great things about them. Obviously, it didn't work out. That's why I'm trying to audition for this show right now." Joey found love with Kelsey Anderson on the show. Image, Instagram. Joey also detailed how the relationships ended, admitting that his girlfriend in Hawaii ended things with him while he pulled the plug on his relationship in Nashville. "I want to fall in love, that's for sure. I thought by this age I would have a lot more figured out. I thought I would be married and starting to build a life with someone," he said. Of course, while going on The Bachelor isn't always a guarantee, it proved to be successful for Joey, who became the show's lead in season 28 after Charity chose to accept Dotun Olubeku's proposal. On the show, he met Kelsey, whom he proposed to in Mexico. The two have shared that they plan to wed in summer 2020. It was just a dusty, unlabeled USB drive at the bottom of a casting producer's drawer, forgotten among old reels of rejected audition tapes and long-expired NDAs. No one at the Bachelor headquarters had any idea what they were about to stumble upon when a new intern accidentally clicked JG_audition_final 4. The intern blinked at the screen. Joey Graziadei. Yes, the Joey Graziadei, the poster boy of America's most romantic franchise, whose season had sparked both fanfare and controversy, was sitting nervously in a chair, back in the days before he had ever handed out a single rose. His signature floppy hair was shorter, his smile a little less confident, and his tone shocking. "I have to be honest," he said to the casting camera, running a hand through his hair. "There's something about my last relationship that I've never told anyone. If I'm going to do this show, I need to be real about it." What followed would shake Bachelor Nation to its core. The audition that blew up the room. Back in 2022, Joey had just ended a turbulent 3-year relationship with a woman he'd never spoken about publicly, not even during his televised journey for love. But here, in the hidden tape, he laid it all bare. "Her name was Simone," he confessed, "and I really thought she was the one. But she said something to me that's haunted me ever since. She said, 'You don't know how to be alone, Joey. You fall in love with the idea of love.'" The producer behind the camera didn't interrupt. Joey went on, his eyes misty. "I'm not doing this show to prove her wrong. I'm doing it because she might have been right. And maybe I need to figure out whether I can love someone for who they are, not just how they make me feel." The tape ended abruptly, but it was enough. The intern rushed it up the ranks, and soon, producers were in chaos. This wasn't the Joey they had signed onto the show. This was raw, real, a man who had been broken and wasn't afraid to say it. The secret that stayed hidden. Bachelor fans were introduced to Joey as the charming, surf-loving tennis pro with a heart of gold. No one ever saw the heartbreak behind his eyes. Producers had chosen to portray him as polished, cheerful, a ready-made rom-com lead. And while parts of that were true, the tape revealed a vulnerability that never made the edit. Simone, his ex, was never mentioned on the show, and Joey never broke down the way he did in that tape, not even during emotional hometowns or his iconic final rose decision. So why was this tape buried? Insiders say producers felt this Simone story was too off-brand for what they wanted from Joey's season. He wasn't supposed to come in carrying baggage, a source from production leaked. They wanted him to be a clean slate. But it turned out Joey wasn't a clean slate. He was a man who'd loved hard, lost harder, and had spent years trying to figure out who he was beyond someone's boyfriend. And Bachelor Nation had no idea. The woman behind the AE name. Simone Bellamy wasn't a public figure. A yoga teacher and travel blogger based in Costa Rica, she had intentionally kept a low profile. But when Bachelor super sleuths caught wind of the name after rumors of the tape's existence began to circulate on Reddit, they found old photos of Joey and Simone on a now-deleted Instagram account. The chemistry was undeniable. Sunset kisses, lazy beach days, heartfelt captions. They'd lived together for nearly 2 years. One post from Simone, dated just weeks before their breakup, read, "Loving you has been the most beautiful mirror. You make me want to grow, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it hurts." But just 3 weeks later, they were done. So what happened? In a Bombshell interview with a popular Bachelor podcast, Simone finally broke her silence. "I never wanted fame," she began, "but I think people deserve to know that the Joey you saw on TV is real. He just wasn't ready when we were together. And that's okay. I let him go because I loved him enough not to hold him back." When asked if she watched his season, Simone said quietly, "Only the finale. Because I needed to know if he finally found the kind of love that didn't scare him." Kelsey and the shadow of Simone. Kelsey Anderson, the woman who won Joey's heart on The Bachelor, had no idea about Simone. Not during filming, not during their fantasy suite conversation, and certainly not during after the final rose. When the tape leaked, Kelsey reportedly confronted Joey. A source close to the couple revealed she wasn't mad about Simone. She was hurt that he never told her. In a joint Instagram post later that week, Joey and Kelsey broke their silence. "Yes, the audition tape is real. Yes, I loved someone before Kelsey in a way that changed me," Joey wrote. "But that relationship ended because I wasn't ready, and I am now." Kelsey added, "I didn't fall in love with a perfect man. I fell in love with a man who grew from his past, and I'd do it again." But rumors swirled. Was Kelsey really okay with it? Or had this secret opened a crack in their relationship too wide to ignore? The franchise in panic mode. ABC scrambled. The leak of the tape raised huge questions about transparency in casting and editing. Bachelor Nation was outraged. Had they been sold a sanitized version of Joey? Did the producers manipulate the narrative? Bachelor alums like Caitlin Bristow and Nick Viall weighed in. "This tape makes Joey even more relatable," Caitlin said on her podcast. "Why hide that depth?" Nick was more pointed. "Producers are scared of messy truths, but real love is messy." A petition with over 100,000 signatures demanded ABC release the full, unedited audition tapes of all recent leads, sparking a movement Bachelor fans dubbed #TheRealRose. And in a shocking move, ABC announced a limited docuseries, Bachelor, Behind the Rose, The Untold Auditions. Joey's was set to be the premiere episode. The aftermath. In the months following the tape's release, Joey and Kelsey's relationship went under a microscope. Fans speculated every move. When Kelsey didn't appear in Joey's Instagram story for 2 weeks, rumors of a breakup exploded. In an emotional Instagram live, Joey addressed everything. Yes, Simone was a big part of my life. And yes, I didn't share that with the world or with Kelsey early on. That was a mistake, but we're working through it, and I love Kelsey with everything I have. Kelsey joined midway through the stream, holding Joey's hand. We're not perfect, she said, but we're not giving up. But behind the scenes, things were different. Simone had reached out. Not romantically, but to offer Joey closure. In a private email later leaked by an anonymous source, Simone wrote, "You don't owe the world your wounds, but you do owe the woman you love the truth about where you've been. Not because it defines you, but because it shows her how far you've come." Viviulil Sartil. A year later, Joey and Kelsey returned to the Bachelor stage for a special one-on-one sit-down with Jess Palmer. This time, there were no secrets. Joey spoke openly about Simone, about fear, about learning what love really meant. "I used to think love was something you fall into. Now I know it's something you build, every day." Kelsey nodded, tears in her eyes. "We've had hard conversations. We've taken space when we needed to. But at the end of the day, I see Joey, all of him, and I choose him." The audience erupted. But in the crowd, one woman slipped quietly out the back before anyone could see her. Simone. The legacy of a tape. What started as a hidden file on an old USB drive became one of the most transformative moments in Bachelor history. Joey Graziadei's unseen audition tape reminded fans that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the truest form of strength. It sparked a cultural shift in reality TV, where raw truth began to be valued over glossy edits. And perhaps most importantly, it gave viewers a love story that was messy, complicated, flawed, and still beautifully real. Joey and Kelsey didn't ride off into a perfect sunset. But they stayed. They grew. And in a world of Instagram filters and rose-colored narratives, that was the real fairy tale.